Ping Ketsch versus the Odyssey Tri-Hot 5K. We are talking a direct head-to-head battle for the top high MOI putter on the market right now.
On one side, we've got a chunky, milled mallet staring you down with three incredibly thick alignment lines.
On the other, there's a totally normal-looking blade that secretly hides almost half its weight in heavy tungsten.
They have the exact same goal, but completely opposite ways of getting there.
Look, there is literally nothing worse in golf than staring down a match-deciding 4-footer, holding a piece of metal you just dropped $300 on, and having absolutely zero trust in it. You stand over the ball, your hands get tight, and you just know you're gonna miss it because the putter feels completely wrong. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Golf Gear Showdown, where it's golf gear head-to-head, and I'm Jake, your everyday 15 handicapper.
And I'm Mike, the resident data and specs guy. Look, as someone who spends way too many hours staring at spec sheets and center of gravity data, I really want to know exactly why a club works mechanically. But Jake over here just wants to know if he can actually make a putt when his buddy is breathing down his neck on the 18th green.
Exactly. I mean, I do not care about the spreadsheets if the ball doesn't go in the hole. So we're putting these two distinct design philosophies to the test in this explainer today, hopefully to stop you from wasting your hard-earned money. High MOI putters are literally everywhere right now, but you really need to know how they operate before you open your wallet. Now, what's really fascinating here is how traditional the Ketsch is when we look at stability based on design intent. High MOI used to mean one very simple thing, right? Just buy a massive mallet. Ping built this Ketsch with a wide, lightweight aluminum body, and then they bolted a heavy stainless steel sole plate onto the bottom. Think of a figure skater spinning on the ice. When they pull their arms in, they spin faster. But when they throw those arms out wide, they slow down and actively resist that twisting motion. That is exactly what perimeter weighting does. By pushing all that heavy steel to the absolute outer edges of the putter, it physically fights the urge to twist open when you accidentally strike the ball off the toe. The putter head stays perfectly stable and your putt stays on line. Right, but Odyssey took a totally different route with the Tri-Hot 5K. They actually hollowed out the heel and toe of a very traditional-looking blade and packed an absurd amount of heavy tungsten inside. To fully grasp why this matters, you have to realize that tungsten is incredibly dense. We're talking roughly 2.5 times heavier than standard steel. By placing that invisible weight right on the far edges, they managed to push the MOI over 5,000. That actually beats a lot of massive mallets out there, but you get to do it without looking down at something that resembles a spaceship. So the confusion in the pro shop right now is completely real. You've got two putters marketed as absolute stability beasts, yet they look absolutely nothing alike.
And guessing wrong based on marketing paint doesn't just cost you $300 or $400, it completely ruins your confidence on those tricky 4-footers for an entire season.
I actually remember buying a high MOI mallet once just because a commercial told me to. I got to the final green of my member guest tournament and just completely froze over a downhill slider. The paint job looked great on TV, but the massive shape messed with my eyes so badly in real life that I shoved it 2 feet right. That is the true expensive part of buying the wrong gear. To solve this for you, we are going 6 rounds today: alignment, forgiveness, consistency, feel, value, and golfer fit. Let's get right into it. Starting things off with round 1, alignment and setup confidence. Honestly, before we can even begin to talk about distance control, you actually have to aim the putter correctly in the first place. We're going to judge based on stroke fit and design intent today. We aren't going to sit here and invent robot data just to sound smart. And definitely stick around, because what we reveal in round 3 completely flips what most golfers assume about consistency on the greens.
Setting up to the Ketsch here, you get this massive 3-line visual cage. Those contrasting white lines on the matte black crown basically frame the golf ball for you. If you line up, back off, and line up again, that system does a ton of heavy lifting for your eyes.
Yeah, I completely disagree for my own game. I hate all that clutter. The Tri-Hot 5K gives you a clean, totally distraction-free single sightline. If you aim by feel, meaning you just set the toe, look at the hole, look back at the ball, and fire, that blade shape does not get in your head. You just let your athletic instincts take over instead of trying to perfectly parallel park the putter head. That is a fair point for natural feel players, but for the everyday golfer who struggles, the mallet absolutely does the work. The average weekend player really struggles with optical illusions when standing over the ball. Because your eyes are positioned inside the target line, your brain often tricks you into thinking you're aimed dead straight when you are actually pointed way out to the right. The visual cage on the Ketsch forces you to square up properly. So our round 1 winner is the Ping Ketsch. It's the definitive winner for golfers who actually need help aiming. Moving on to round 2, forgiveness on misshits. This round tests the very common assumption that a big, chunky mallet automatically wins when you hit the ball off the toe.
The Tri-Hot uses that heel, toe, tungsten we just talked about to create unusual stability for a blade. It physically resists twisting. But the Ketsch answers right back with variable depth TR grooves. Based on design intent, these grooves are explicitly designed to normalize ball speed across the entire face. They are actually cut deeper in the dead center of the putter, and they get progressively shallower as you move out toward the heel and toe. If you hit it pure in the deep grooves, it absorbs a little energy. But if you miss on the toe where it's shallow, it transfers more energy. It basically acts like an equalizer. A toe strike doesn't just die and come up 5 feet short.
Exactly. It's mass placement versus face technology. Two different problems, both handled in very real ways.
Honestly, the Tri-Hot is doing something seriously impressive for its size, but a well-built mallet just has more physical real estate to work with. Spreading that mass further back, away from the face, just inherently makes it more stable on a really bad stroke. So the round 2 winner goes to the Ping Ketsch, but narrowly. That gives the Tri-Hot 5K the absolute closest loss we've seen in an explainer in a long time. Now, before you start thinking this matchup is a complete blowout, pay close attention to this next point. Are you buying a putter that secretly fights your natural stroke path? The biggest spec numbers in the world mean absolutely nothing if you ignore this crucial detail. We need to talk about toe hang. That brings us to round 3, distance control and consistency. This is where the battle gets incredibly real.
The Ketsch is face balanced. That means it is strictly engineered for a straight back, straight through stroke.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the Tri-Hot 5K comes in multiple hosel options, like a plumber's neck or a slant neck, built specifically to accommodate arcing strokes.
For the folks watching who might not know their stroke type, a straight back, straight through stroke is exactly what it sounds like. It operates on a straight line, kind of like a pendulum. But an arcing stroke means the putter head naturally swings inside the target line on the backswing, opens up slightly, and then closes on the way through, almost like a swinging door. If you have an arcing stroke and you try to use a face-balanced mallet like the Ketsch, you're going to be fighting the putter all day long.
Because it actually provides genuine stroke fit flexibility, the round 3 winner is the Odyssey Tri-Hot 5K. It is the clear consistency winner for everyday golfers who have a natural arc to their stroke. You just match the neck to your toe hang needs. All right, round 4, feel and sound. We are getting deep into the psychological side of putting here. Let's be real for a second. Feel is the actual reason a golfer keeps a putter in the bag for 10 years.
You would normally expect the aluminum Ketsch to sound a bit hollow, but common feedback suggests otherwise. Thanks to that steel sole plate and the milled face, it delivers a surprisingly muted, firm click. We always have to remember audio translates directly to feel in your hands. When you hear that firm, milled click off the Ketsch, your brain registers the putt is traveling faster, which can really help you get the ball to the hole on slower greens.
I am going to defend the Tri-Hot here. It uses the famous white hot insert. It's soft, quiet, and extremely comfortable. The ball literally feels like it's melting into the face on a fast downhill putt. Sure, some common feedback suggests it can read a bit hollow for a premium priced putter today, but it is a classic, familiar feel that millions of people implicitly trust. I just prefer the firmer feedback, man. It gives me a much better sense of speed control.
And I want the soft insert. I hate when a putter sounds super clicky off the face.
Honestly, you can't tell me I'm wrong, and I can't tell you you're wrong.
Exactly. It's totally subjective.
So we are declaring a definitive tie for round 4. Rolling 10 putts with either of these will instantly tell you what your hands prefer. There is simply no wrong answer there. Let's jump into round 5, price and value. I want to reveal a smart shopper move here that most golfers completely overlook when they're browsing the premium rack. The Tri-Hot is the newer release, and it is definitely priced like it. But the original Ketsch has been around a while. A milled Ping mallet holds up incredibly well physically over time. So the round 5 winner is the Ping Ketsch, specifically on the used market. Buying a durable, pre-owned Ketsch leaves you enough budget to actually pay for a proper putter fitting. A really comprehensive, tech-driven putter fitting at a dedicated studio usually runs you around $100 to $150. That hour on a launch monitor is going to help your game way more than a shiny new head cover on a brand new putter. Okay, we have gone through the specs, the feel, and the price. But which one actually fits your specific handicap and swing type? Stick with us as we break down exactly who should be playing what to close out this explainer. Round 6, best fit by golfer type. Before we get into the exact golfer fit matrix at the end, listen closely. The biggest mistake buyers make in this specific matchup is shopping for MOI instead of shopping for their stroke. High MOI is completely useless if the balance of the club forces you to manipulate the face just to square it up. I literally watched Jake do this 3 years ago. He bought the biggest, most stable mallet on the shelf because it looked incredibly forgiving. He didn't realize it was heavily face-balanced while he has a strong arcing stroke. He fought the balance for 2 months, pushed absolutely everything to the right, and putted significantly worse than he did with a $50 blade. Do not make that error. Shop for your stroke first, MOI second. Let's hit the honest, no brand protection pros and cons. Ping Ketsch pros, outstanding alignment, great milled build quality, and high stability. Cons, a polarizing shape. It honestly looks a bit like a branding iron from the top down, which some guys just cannot stand, and it completely shuts out strong arc putters. Odyssey Tri-Hot pros, beautiful blade shape, real tungsten weighting, and multiple hosel options. Cons, premium pricing, very minimal alignment help, and that white-hot feel might not seem like a massive upgrade if you already own an older Odyssey, because the insert is basically identical to the one they used 15 years ago.
Time for the final verdict matrix. Let's rapid fire this exactly by golfer type and final verdict. For beginners and high handicappers, it's the Ketsch all day for the massive alignment help. Mid-handicappers, we give the edge to the Tri-Hot 5K, since you likely have a more developed arcing stroke. Seniors, the Ketsch, because the heavier overall weight helps smooth out the hands during the stroke. Fast swings, Tri-Hot 5K. Slicers, Tri-Hot 5K with a slant neck to help the face rotate closed. Distance seekers, Ketsch for that firm milled feedback. Forgiveness seekers, it is the Ketsch. Budget buyers and best value on the used market, Ketsch again. But if you have absolutely no budget limit, Tri-Hot 5K.
Crowning our overall winner for this explainer, we give it to the Ping Ketsch, based on alignment, forgiveness, and absolute value on the used market. But we are explicitly telling strong arc players to buy the Tri-Hot 5K. So the question is, are you willing to check your ego at the door and play the chunky putter that actually matches your stroke and helps your aim? Or will you keep letting marketing paint dictate your scorecard?
Leave us confident in your choice. Drop your handicap and your pick in the comments below. What is your usual miss? Let us know.
And definitely hit that subscribe button for more from this explainer series. Next week, we are putting a spider up against the Ketsch. See you in the next